Pokemon Black and White were the fifth installment in the long and widely popular series of Pokemon games. Along with a new region, new Pokemon, and a whole new story just waiting to be explored, we were introduced to this generation's mascots, Reshiram and Zekrom. These powerful legendary Pokemon have an interesting origin story, a legend that speaks of an original dragon and the fight for truth and ideals. Who was this original dragon, and why can't Reshiram and Zekrom combine once more? Hey there Pokemon fans, my name is Ovi and welcome to another of my Pokemon theories. "1,000 years before the events of Pokemon Black and White, the King of Vale had twin sons. They both shared the power of the original dragon, which fought to preserve both truth and ideals. But it wasn't long before the twin heroes started a conflict in which they couldn't decide which of their noble causes to pursue, resulting in the original dragon to split. And thus Reshiram the Dragon of Fire was born and followed the hero of truth, and Zekrom the Dragon of Thunder who followed the hero of ideals. War raged across the land between both brothers until the dragon force was disrupted and became chaotic. The King of Vale was able to restore the balance, but in doing so, shortly after he perished. Both Reshiram and Zekrom, exhausted from their battle, turned into dragon stones, and the heroes driven by guilt hid the stones deep underneath their castle, sealing away what they once thought was a worthy cause to fight for. The legend of the twin heroes led to the plot of Pokemon Black and White, and of course later on Pokemon Black and White 2. The fight for truth and ideals was once more reborn, and you, the main character, happened to be one of the heroes. This led to one of the most memorable plots in the franchise, but left us with many questions. One of them was, could Reshiram and Zekrom become the original dragon once more? Pokemon Black and White 2 tackled this dilemma, but in doing so perhaps left many of us fans even more confused. We were introduced to a third dragon, one which the legend did not speak of. Kyurem was able to fuse with either Reshiram or Zekrom, but not with both at the same time. Where did this third dragon come from? What is his relationship with Reshiram and Zekrom? And perhaps could we never meet the original dragon? To truly understand why there is a third part of the puzzle, we need to take a look at the inspiration behind these Pokemon of legend. Their origin seems to be based on Taoism, which is a religious and philosophical view of ancient China. Most of you guys know the symbol behind this philosophy, the yin and yang. I'm not going to go too much into details because it's a lot more complex than just thinking of opposites, but what we are interested in is the Wu-Ji. Most people look at the yin and yang and think of two opposites. In our scenario, this would be Reshiram and Zekrom. However, there is a third element that most people overlook, and that is the empty circle that is required to form yin and yang. The empty circle is known as the Wu-Ji. Pokemon knew very well about this fact and created a third Pokemon based on this concept. The word Wu-Ji means ultimate and infinite, or the ultimate of nothingness. This is why Kyurem is represented as an empty shell that is frozen. One of its Pokédex entries states the following, quote, "This legendary ice Pokemon waits for a hero to fill in the missing parts of his body with either truth or ideals." But even if Kyurem is a representation of Wu-Ji, the empty circle, why is it impossible for it to fuse with both Reshiram and Zekrom? This is not touched in any of the games, but if Game Freak is truly following the concept of Taoism, it makes complete sense that Kyurem is unable to fuse. You see, even in Taoism, in order for Wu-Ji to be able to house yin and yang, it must first become Tai-Ji. This leads me to believe that Kyurem must obtain a different form that is more suited to fuse with both Reshiram and Zekrom. And if we ever get remakes of these games, I feel it would be awesome to get a new form for Kyurem that can actually become the original dragon that it once was. This form must allow for the flow of yin and yang, and since it is now an ice dragon Pokemon, I predict that a water dragon Pokemon would be more appropriate to allow the fusion to take place. Of course, that is just my theory based solely on the concept of Taoism, the inspiration behind this trio. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and if you have suggestions for future theories, don't forget to share your thoughts too. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time Pokemon fans.